Who is YSL Mondo? I believe it's very important that we bring up this individual by the name of YSL Mondo, because he was an integral part of building YSL along with Young Thug and DK, the individual that I had in my last video that turned himself in. Although YSL Mondo is not on the indictment, I still want to give you guys a little history of where he comes from and what part that he sort of plays in all this without being in the indictment. It has something to do with Fannie Willis that I found. I'm going to play a little bit of that a little later. We're going to build up to that. I'm also going to cover a little bit about Big Nut and how things changed between YSL and YFN because of the situation in Big Nut. So I'm going to go over that. I know you guys probably seen it online and everything, but like I said, you go wherever you want. But when you come here, it's because I found some things that I think that you guys may be interested in, whether you've seen it or not. And plus the way that I deliver it, I think that you guys enjoy it. So just sit back for a minute and let's get to it.
Hey, that get a clear understanding, right, to the world and for folks who don't know.
I started YSL. I'm the founder.
Y'all doing screaming YSL till I started screaming this shit first, nigga.
I'm the founder, nigga. I made these young niggas want to be slime, nigga.
These young niggas looked up to me, nigga. They weren't looking up to y'all goof ass shit. I been dripping since my baby picture, nigga. The shit y'all nigga I been did without the money, nigga, without this rap. Nigga. Y'all stop playing, nigga. I been throwing sticks and 30s on me. Y'all just started doing this shit, man.
Nigga, I made this shit boo to be slime. I'm the founder, nigga. Mondo the founder, nigga. Get this shit clean understood. Y'all ain't getting no credibility. Y'all ain't getting on these drug go talking goofy, nigga.
I don't want to start it. Don't get this shit misconstrued, nigga. I been dripping since my baby pictures too, little nigga. Y'all goof ass rappers, man. Y'all nigga
funny, nigga. I'm the founder of this shit for real, nigga. Y'all nigga went screaming YSL. I started this shit. Mondo. Wrong with y'all, nigga.
All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. I put in the work and never, no nigga can never just say that I love it.
Now one would say to himself, I wonder why YSL Mondo isn't in this paperwork. And thank God he's not, because I don't wish jail on nobody. But for an individual to proclaim founder of YSL and the individual that I've seen from the beginning, I've watched YSL when they were not YSL, when they was just running around with just Thugga, DK, and YSL Mondo. And they was very small. Thugga didn't have his teeth in, none of that yet. But I remember all of this. So as I sat back and I thought, I said, what happened to YSL Mondo? And I felt like I needed to bring him to the light. And as I was doing my research and looking online, I found a couple things where I started to see the separation between DK and YSL Mondo and Young Thug. See, I kind of wondered when DK was asked the question about when he was released, was he still in contact with Young Thug? And he said no. And I didn't understand that. I kind of thought maybe, okay, it made me want to know why. And as I thought about that, that's when I remembered YSL Mondo. And the reason I wanted to know the same thing. Where was YSL Mondo at? And in doing that, I found there was a beef between YSL Mondo and Young Thug. And I believe there also is a beef between DK and Young Thug. And that's where the separation is. And I found some things that maybe could explain the separation. I'm not fully aware of it, the whole thing. So if anybody knows about this separation and really actually what happened or from Cleveland Ave, then get in my comment box and let me know. And we can break it down. So I'm going to give you what I have, and we're going to work our way through. And I'm going to try to show you and figure out where it all went wrong. All right, let's move on.
I don't want to hear that having money back in the day shit, man. I don't want to hear that. I had it now. And I was getting it back in the day. But I don't talk about back in the day because I blew that little shit. I'm having money right now, though. Legit, like.
On the biggest slime, nigga. That's your mama. That's your mama. Where she got this shit from? That's nigga. That's your daddy, nigga.
Slime boss, boy. god. Nigga, I'm the drip god.
I created this shit. I made the way for young niggas to open up and do themselves. I did this. I got crucified. They called me. They ain't call you.
They called me. I made you tighten your jeans up, nigga. I'm the reason they got dicks in their jeans. I'm the reason you toting that around. I promise I am. I'm the wave god. I'm the master.
I'm the founder.
Timley, you did what I'm saying? Yeah, OG Timley. You did. She's legendary. I'm already a legend.
I can pass away now.
Okay, now you can obviously see why I feel like YSL Mondo should be in the paperwork. I'm not wishing it on nobody. I'm not saying that. It just raises a question, right? You can see that there was an online rift between Thugg and YSL Mondo over who created YSL, correct? Now, if it's me and I'm thinking, well, this gentleman is, he laying on the line, he coming online. And remember, this is all public information. He came online and did this. If you niggas stop doing this, then we have nothing to report. So now we reporting it. So you see, obviously, he came online and it was a full-blown rift between him and Young Thug about who was the leader or who started YSL. Then I came across this post. Let me read it. God is good and prayer do work. After all the setbacks and people wishing bad on me, I'll be home in a few months. Shouts out to my lawyer, my girl, and my family for never missing a court date and staying down with me. New music dropping next week, and I'ma still be dropping that regular till I jump. Free King Drip. King Drip. Okay. So this is a post from Mondo. Once I found this post, I started to say, okay, so now he went to jail. I'm just putting this together in my head, right? So I'm doing a little bit more research, and I came across this video of YSL Mondo in court. And what I seen on this video, it was a little bit crazy, but it wasn't. I just need you guys to check this video out, and then we're going to talk about it. All right, let's get to that now.
Well, good luck. I want to see you again. I want to see on the streets, okay? All right. Now, where's that cute baby? Baby. Yeah. How old is the baby?
7 months.
She's 7 months. Have you seen the child?
No.
Stand right there. Do not move. Come up here.
Thank you.
Okay, you get one hug. Now, and while you're hugging that really, really cute child, remember that's a reason to not be back in front of me. Because if you care about it, don't do stuff that gets you in front of folks like me. All right? Yes, she is. Okay, people back. Time's up.
Okay, now who sees what I saw in this video? This video really isn't about YSL Mondo's court appearance. Shout out to the judge for letting him see his baby and everything. But did you guys see Miss Fannie Willis? Now, look at the screen. I want you to pay attention now. That's Miss Fannie Willis standing right next to YSL Mondo. Makes you think, don't it? Fannie Willis, are you a part of his legal team? I mean, I do see the other gentleman there. You guys are going to have to excuse me because I cannot find YSL Mondo's real name in order to get the court papers so that I could see if Miss Fannie was representing Mr. YSL Mondo at this time. Because to me, it's just a little weird. Let's think about this. Remember my last video when I explained to you guys about the gentleman named DK. DK has a lawyer, which Fannie Willis also was a mentored him, brought him up in the ranks. Now I find a clip with YSL Mondo and Fannie Willis in the courtroom together. He is not in the indictment. Do you see where I'm going here? I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm not saying that anybody said anything. I'm just painting a picture for you, the regular individual, to look at and say, okay, and make their own assessment. Because Fannie Willis has her hands in a lot of different things going on with YSL, has been for some time now. And I'm not saying she's not doing anything to the contrary, but at the end of the day, you got to look at it. You have to look at it all the way around. These gentlemen did not get bail. These gentlemen did not have murders tied to, some of these gentlemen did not have murders tied to their rap sheet. So in order for them to not get bail, and you give YFN Lucci bail and others bail, it raises an eyebrow, and then you're always around, Miss Fanny. I just wanted to point that out. It shocked me when I seen it. I'm just doing regular research, and I actually found something. So I'm going to let that sit on your head for a second, and we're going to move on. All right, let's do that now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
Says in 2015, a prosecutor tried to get his client to cooperate against alleged YSL members, but he wasn't interested. Were you a founder of YSL? No comment.
Okay, back on Mr. DK. The reason why I'm back on him is because I believe that he was a founder. We just heard him be asked, were you a founder? And he said no comment. Was that a good thing to say? I don't know. But I do remember him from the beginning. And so that's why we're bringing him back up again. And also he was approached to snitch a long time ago. It's kind of weird because they said that the lawyer mentioned that. And remember who the lawyer is. The lawyer is the individual that is comes up under Fanny. So you see the circle. You see where I'm going with this. I'm trying to figure out why is it that they have more people with the founders that are on the other side that really have distanced themselves from the gang or from the label, however you look at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure that part out. So now I'm painting that picture for you. So now, again, the reason why Mr. DK is being brought up again is because now we're going to transition into the Big Nut era and the situation that happened between them. Understand that Young Thug was with Birdman prior to that. And when he was with Birdman, there was Big Nut there also. Bloody J, etc., etc. Now I'm going to play a clip from this DK song that to let you know how close they were. Summer Hill was okay with YSL at one point in time. So we're building up to that. Okay, let's get to that now.
Bloody J slime, Thugga slime, Mondo slime, nigga on Prince slime, YSL cricket, like Saint Eyes, nigga we snake slime, we don't drink.
Okay, now you hear out the horse's mouth a YSL DK in his rap song about Bloody J and about they were just, I just wanted to prove the point to show you that these guys was all cool to move on to where I'm going now. Now that you can see that all these guys are cool, you see YSL Mondo, he has many mixtapes and many songs. DK, he was a rapper in the beginning. Like I told you guys, I seen all of this form, right? Now we're going to move on to why I believe the relationship between Summer Hill and Cleveland Ave, which is YSL, got all the way messed up. So I'm going to play a clip of Big Nut. He was murdered. Rest in peace to Big Nut. He was a blood from Atlanta, Georgia. And I want to play the news clip of what happened to him, just in case you guys aren't familiar with it. And then we're going to come back and talk about him and Thugg's relationship they had prior to the beef. All right, let's get to that now.
We begin tonight with a developing story. Atlanta police are on the scene of a triple shooting, and one of the victims is a teenager. The shooting happened outside a barber shop, and tonight one victim is clinging to life. Channel 2's Jessica Jaglois is live at the scene where there's still a very heavy police presence. Jessica.
As you can see behind me, there is still quite the active scene here in Southwest Atlanta. McDaniel Street is still closed, and it has been for more than 3 hours. That's because there are shell casings up and down the street. Now, I'm told one of the men who was shot, a man in his mid-20s,
is in critical condition, but that his status could change for the worse overnight.
It appears that they were the intended target, but again, we're not sure the reason of the shooting.
Atlanta police are investigating why two men in their mid-20s and a 14-year-old boy were shot outside of a barber shop in Southwest Atlanta Saturday night.
Right now, it doesn't appear that they had anything connection to the business. They were just kind of hanging out, is what we appear.
Investigators say it appears to have been
a drive-by shooting, and according to several witnesses we spoke with, an automatic weapon was used.
Heard like something like a semi-automatic or something. And I came running to the front of the gate because my Uncle Sammy be hanging.
Sugar Thomas is one of dozens of residents who weren't allowed into their apartments while police investigated. K-9 units were used to locate additional shell casings and other evidence.
30 minutes, next be 45 minutes, then somebody said be 4 more hours. Really?
I gotta go work in the morning.
We praying for the people that got shot. Other than that, we got to get in the house, though.
Now we're going to continue to monitor that victim's condition, and we will bring you updates if we get them during this newscast and tomorrow on Channel 2 Action News Sunday AM. Reporting live in Southwest Atlanta, I'm Jessica Jaglois, Channel 2 Action News.
Again, rest in peace to Nut and well wishes to his family. Now, the reason why I brought that up is because this is in the indictment. This is very important because this is where the car that they're trying to say that Young Thug rented, the individuals did this situation out of that vehicle. So when you have a certain situation like this in the city, people know what's going on. If you know, you know. So out there, this is where I believe sparked the big feud in between Summerhill and Cleveland Ave. I mean, as you can see on the screen, this is around the time that Young Thug ended up getting with Birdman, and here we go with the Rich Gang thing. So now if you look on the pictures, I mean, if you look at the video that's playing right now as I'm speaking, you can see Nut, you can see Birdman, you can see Young Thug, you can also see Pee Wee Roscoe. I mean, all of these individuals were all in together at one time. So that's what makes me understand, and it could be obvious to the world, but it's just me, you know, saying my part about it. This is where it all went wrong. I've proven that they all were cool at one time. I mean, I used to see these guys in videos constantly together. So where did the beef become that serious where you had to, you know, do whatever they're accused of doing to this young man when you was that cool is what I don't understand. Now I'm gonna play this next little clip real quick. It's a couple second clip, and then we're gonna get back to it. All right, let's do that now. To be this close to an individual, to vouch for an individual like this, and then be accused of renting the vehicle that murdered this individual, you must have to feel some kind of way. You gotta be a slime. I mean, that's all I can say about it. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure out how could it go that wrong when things was going that good. I actually know, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, these are things that just happen in the street. These are things that can happen at the drop of a dime. Now, for all the individuals that have been getting in my inbox, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but what I will say is that it is a great point that was brought up about when the lawyer read Young Thug's text out loud, and he began to say that an individual told him that there must be sacrifices made, et cetera, et cetera. So I do understand where you guys are coming from, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not thinking that deep. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. They are trying to tie that to this murder, actually in court. So I do know where you guys are getting it from, but I'm just not there yet with that. You know, I'm not sure what that was about. That has something to do with the gangs and being up under the umbrella, et cetera, et cetera. I haven't got to that point yet, but when I do, we can come back and talk about that later on when I get some more knowledge on it. Now, understand by this time, YFN Lucci is now making his way up the ranks in the rap music scene now. Now his generation is coming around, and what you have to understand is Nut was there for him also on the side. I don't know if Thug knew or he didn't, but he also had, you know, they got Summerhill ties, right? And if you from the street and you didn't know what happened, then you just didn't know what happened. If you from the street and you do know what happened, then it could be or it couldn't be, right? But when a situation like this comes, I want you guys to take a look at the screen. When an individual goes to an individual's gravesite and puts that on there, that's the utmost disrespect. That's almost like another man spitting in a man's face type. You know what I mean? Like, it's the utmost disrespect. So you have to understand why, if any reason YFN Lucci didn't have a clue what was going on, that he felt like now he knows what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? If I wake up in the morning, get a phone call, and I go to my partner's grave and I see this written on my partner's grave, then it's up then. So now you understand, here comes YFN Lucci integrating into the situation because he had love for this man. And then to see this, if he didn't know what was going on or if he's just speculating, remember, all of this is alleged. Everything here, we don't know what's going on. But we're starting to see it in black and white now, so we can report on it. We can kind of break it down in our own ways, and that's what we're doing. So that's why I feel like YFN Lucci kind of went hard at Thugg like that, because, I mean, who wouldn't? You got to understand. So on to my final thoughts. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms. Okay, so what we got today? We learned about YSL Mondo, that claims that he is the King Slime. I know that he's thanking Jesus right now on his knees. I know he is. Just to miss that indictment. But we still have to remember that Fannie Willis was there for him in a capacity that we haven't seen Fannie Willis be there for a gang member, allegedly, right? Then we have DK, which is another founder, been there since the beginning. And we have another individual that is close ties to Fannie Willis and a YSL associate, I guess you could say, because you are defending this individual. So you are a confidant of this individual, but your mentor, the individual that you say that you look up to as your big sister, is who? Fannie Willis. Okay. So we also covered why and how we believe the beef started between the two situations, I'll say. And it did come from the street, and it ended in the street. And whatever happens in the street ends up ending up in jail. And that's where we at now. So we'll be covering the case. This is a lot of stuff I've been sitting on. I've been sick. I know you guys can hear it in my voice. I appreciate you for rocking out with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting better. And we're going to hit this hard now. I know it sounds like we all over the place, but this is just stuff I've been sitting on. I didn't get a chance to make these videos because I've been down. So now that I'm up, it's kind of like, let me just get this out here, all this information, so I can get caught back up. And then we could just go ahead and drive this car where we got to go. Thank everybody for being there for me. If you want to hit the Cash App, it's $ Audio Crack 22. You want to join the member gang? I got two member gangs you could join. And we rocking out. I appreciate the support. Until next time.
All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. I put in the work and never, no nigga can ever just say that I look